Time for a book haul. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Zach with Zacks Books, and today I've got a September book haul for you. It's kind of more like, I don't know, I feel like it's been a long time since we've done a book haul. So, September? What was before September? August, I guess? Half of August, most of September. We will have most of these linked down below. Whatever we can link, we will link. Also, don't forget to check out the podcast down below. We got all that stuff going on. Danielle's channel, Pango Books, selling some stuff, and I don't know what else is down there. All the other stuff, the Instagrams, Bookstagram stuff, all that fun stuff. So, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the haul. Alright, first book up is The Deep by Peter Benchley. This is the author of Jaws. I believe this is another shark-type book that he wrote, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, though. Don't know a whole lot about this. Danielle had found this, and she was like, oh my goodness, they have this in hardcover, and I was like, what is it? So, she knows a little bit more about this than I do, actually. And as far as I know, this is... it's the guy who wrote Jaws. You guys know my opinion of Jaws, because I read it last year with, like, classic horror books or something like that. Did not enjoy it too much. There's not much of a blurb in here. There's a little line, there's like a quote from, a young couple go to the Bermuda on their honeymoon. They dive on the reefs offshore looking for the wreck of a sunken ship. Okay. That sounds actually intriguing. Maybe I will read this eventually. But yeah, there you have The Deep by Peter Benchley. Alright, next up is Security by Gina Woolsdorf. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I have read this book. I'm not going to tell you my rating or my real solid thoughts. I'm going to have this in a recent read soon, so stay tuned for that. This is basically about a hotel that has got supposedly top-notch security, and the night before some big thing is supposed to happen, or like it's either the grand opening or a reopening or something like that, or like when the season starts for them, and all hell breaks loose in the hotel, and supposedly like there's nothing that security is like doing, and like people are getting picked off one by one, and it's an intriguing story, but really I don't know. I just thought it had, I'm not going to give too much thought to you guys here about what I thought about it, but I felt like it was too jumpy. So, this book was alright. If you don't mind jumping from place to place. There's no chapter numbers, it's by camera numbers, which I also think is kind of fun. There is like a little twist at the end that I thought was also intriguing. It's like the last chapter or two is when like a twist happens, so...
We got this from Pango.
Yes, we did get this from Pango. Plus, that cover looks pretty cool. Other than that, you'll see my full talk about this book in an upcoming recent reads, like I said. So, there you have Security by Gina Woolsdorf. Alright, next up is Clown in a Cornfield 2, Friendo Lives by Adam Caesar. So, this book, as far as I know, obviously it's a sequel to the first one, Clown in a Cornfield, where Friendo is like the town mascot of, I don't even remember what the town name is, but it's a town and...
Kettle Springs.
Yeah, you read the first one recently. So, basically it's a horror book. All this bad stuff happens in the town. Mainly it's a bunch of like, I think they're high schoolers, I think it is, that are getting like terrorized by Friendo. And it's actually kind of gruesome. I will say, if you have not read the first one, obviously read the first one first. But for me, the action didn't really start until about almost halfway through, which was fine. It ended up being a really good book. The second one, we're still following. I believe her name is Quinn. She was the main antagonist in the first book. She is now in college, and Friendo basically has followed her there. And after the end of the first book, probably would not have seen that coming. But actually, probably could have, because there's a twist. Whatever. But I have not read this. This was supposed to be a buddy read with Danielle. We just didn't get to it. Maybe might be something we get to soon, though, but I'm not sure. But yeah, there you have Clown in the Cornfield 2 by Adam Caesar. Alright, next up is the Book of the Month pick, which I think this was the thriller pick. And that is Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Raybourn. I believe it's how you pronounce the last name. This was the thriller pick. There's not a whole lot I really know about this, which with thriller books I really don't want to know a lot about him. Front cover says, it's killed or be killed, but they've been at this a long time. And there's like an inside blurb that actually is kind of weird. Older women often feel invisible, but sometimes that's their secret weapon. That actually makes me feel intrigued with reading this. So maybe it is something I will pick up soon. But with Zocktober over the horizon, it's probably not going to happen until November, maybe. So, but yeah, no. Like I said, thriller book, don't want to know a whole lot going into it. So there you have Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Raybourn. Alright, next up are the 2 Stephen King books that I got. The Eyes of the Dragon. I got another hardcover edition, as you guys probably saw on Pango Books. The other one is available. And this book here, I just saw something sticking out of the book, but I can't find it. We had this in a book, Come Shop With Me. If you did not check out that video, check it out up here. But what makes this one a little bit better than the other one I had is the hardcover has actually got the scaly kind of feel. I don't know if you can see any reflection of it or whatever. But it's got like the scales on it. The other one I had was just smooth, like Tennessee whiskey. But this, I don't know if that automatically makes it a first edition. Because I've been trying to find inside if it says it and it doesn't, but I don't know. The dust jacket just feels really cool. It does have the price on the flap, but whatever. If you do not know what this is about, this is a Stephen King. This is what I thought Fairy Tale was going to be about, which I guess I'll show you that book now too. Fairy Tale, Stephen King. Like, just look at that. They should have been sequels, but they're not. It's really depressing. But yeah, this is about a fantasy world where a king dies and the 2 brothers are like feuding, and it's a very entertaining book, and I definitely want to reread this because it's kind of in the middle pack for me, where it is in the King like ranking for me. But I definitely want to readdress it. And then we got Fairy Tale, which again, like I said, I thought was going to be a sequel to The Eyes of the Dragon, but it wasn't, which is fine. I did a podcast episode with this book. I also did a reading vlog with this book. Check it out up here if you have not seen it. Eyes of the Dragon I read, I think I gave it 3 stars or something like that. Fairy Tale I read, I gave it 4. But check out my reading vlog for my more detailed thoughts and listen to the podcast, because I did kind of have some revisions to a few of my thoughts. But this is about a kid named Charlie who befriends an older gentleman, and the older gentleman has got some secrets. So I will leave it at that. Also, there's a dog. His name's Radar, and he's probably one of the best King characters I've read about in a long time. So, yeah, not much else to really say about this because I did a whole video on it. So, Fairy Tale, Stephen King, and The Eyes of the Dragon, Stephen King. All right, last up is, this is a big boy, The Walking Dead Compendium 2. So I showed the Compendium 1 in, I don't remember what it was. I think it might have been the Come Shop With Me we just did, possibly. So we showed that. Here is Compendium 2. We found this at Half Price Books. So, oh yeah, it was a Come Shop With Me, because we got the other one at Barnes & Noble, I think. But then we got this one at Half Price Books and Compendium 3, which I did not want to lug over here because it's thicker than this, and yeah, it would have been a lot. So, but that's sitting over on our other shelves where the graphic novels and the manga is. So, I also think I got One Punch Man 5. I don't remember. But, so this continues the story, obviously, Compendium 2 following Compendium 1. I'm still reading it, the first one. Like I said, I watched the TV show. I got up to like season 5, like halfway through season 5, and then start getting bland for me. But I guess I didn't miss much because after the whole Negan thing, I think in season 7, not really a whole lot happened. So, but yes, Walking Dead Compendium 2. It's a big boy, and hopefully I can get through this series because I am very intrigued with it. So, there you have The Walking Dead Compendium 2. All right, guys. So that was my September/late August book haul. There was more stuff that we got, obviously, but I just didn't want to show everything. And yeah, don't forget to check out the stuff down below. We've got the blog, which is thebooksandstuff.com. We'll have it linked down below. We actually have a website. I actually don't know if that's ever been announced, so surprise, we have a website. Danielle has been doing a lot of the blogging stuff on there for the 2 blogs that we have. She's been doing that, and I've been writing my book, so a lot of fun writing stuff going on in the household here. But yeah, we'll have this stuff linked down below. Also down below is the podcast. Check that out. Yeah, let me know some stuff you've gotten lately down in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.